friends, Big Mike here, back at the fly tying bench. I'm going to tie up some Gurglers for a friend down in on the east coast of Florida, around West Palm Beach. He does a lot of fly fishing for peacock bass, largemouth bass, in the canals around that area. And he says that the bass really tear this fly up. So come along, I'll show you how I tie it. To start off, we're going to lay us a thread base down on our hook, starting right behind the hook eye, working our way all the way back to where the hook shank starts to bend. Then we'll snip off the excess. First thing we're going to do is tie in a tail. And for that I use this material called crystal hair that I get from the Fly Tier's Dungeon. It's a synthetic material. It's got a lot of flash to it. So we're going to grab a bunch and about twice the length of the hook shank. And we'll cut that off. Lay it on top of the hook shank and tie it in. Working our way back up to the eye. And you notice I didn't put it all the way to the eye. We don't want to crowd the eye. Then work our way back toward the bend of the hook shank. That's tied in nice and securely. Now for the flotation, I use this craft foam. It's a thin sheet of EVA foam you can get at craft stores. I got this at Hobby Lobby. Anyway, I cut a strip about twice the length of the hook shank, and half of it I kind of tapered to a V. So we're going to lay that on top of the hook shank, and we're going to tie that down. Notice the V is facing toward the hook eye. Okay, now we're going to take that V part and just fold it back temporarily, because at this point we're going to make a dubbing loop so we can tie the body. To make that dubbing loop, I pull out some thread, double it over my finger, and run my thread back up to the hook eye. Then I put this dubbing spinner into the loop and just let it hang there for a moment. Now on that thread we're going to put what's called dubbing wax. Helps the dubbing material stick to the thread. And we're going to take that same material that we made our tail out of. We're going to make the body. So we'll cut off that material. It's about 2 inches in length. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spread the 2 pieces of thread that make up that loop, stick it between, and spread it out. Now spread it out evenly. And hold that thread together like that, and spin that dubbing spinner. And when you let go of the thread, you see how it kind of spins up. Now we're going to wrap this material around the hook shank, kind of folding it back as you go, working our way up to the hook eye. You don't want to go all the way to the hook eye because you don't want to crowd it. Once we get up there, we're going to tie that dubbing loop off. Well, that was a disaster. Snip off the dubbing loop. Make sure you hold your main thread out of the way with your finger while you're doing that, so you don't cut it accidentally. Then fold all that up at the eye toward the back and tie that down well. Now at this point, the material that's sticking up on the top, you want to kind of fold it to the sides, down around the side of the hook shank, and fold that foam forward. Like so. Squeeze it down around the hook shank and tie it in place tightly. Now we can tie that off using a finger style whip finish. Cut off our thread. Well, no, don't cut off your thread yet. Now we're going to fold that to the rear. And what I want to do is build a little thread dam in front of it. thread dam is a fancy word for a lump of thread. Now we'll whip finish that again. Now we can snip off our thread. We're going to put a little dab of Solarez Bone Dry on that thread. Hit it with our UV light, and it'll harden hard as a rock. Now we're going to take that top piece and fold it back forward. And we're going to put some bone dry on those other thread wraps. Hit it with our UV light. Last step, we're just going to kind of trim the long stragglers out of that body. And we've got some really long ones on the tail. There you have the Gurgler. It's a topwater fly, and when you strip it, this little flap up here spits water out in front of it, so it kind of gurgles as you strip it. Very effective topwater fly for just about any game fish when they're hitting top waters. And as always, these are available from Big Mike's Jigs and Flies. You can find them at www.bmjigs.com. Check it out. See if there's anything you like. I got all kind of flies and jigs for sale there. Anyway, I hope you like this video. By all means, give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. And please, please, please subscribe. Until next time, get out on the water, be safe, catch some fish. Tight lines, everybody.